some mouse droppings this morning, Mama. Must be gonna be an early fall.
Count the rings on them, that's how you find out.
Well, that's the rings on the woolly worms, Mama, not the mouse droppings.
Violet, don't you think it's time for my medicine?
Well, you took it less than an hour ago, Mama. It's not soda pop.
Lord, don't waste my brandy.
I'm just mixing a little with the poison. It'll make it more tempting. You of all people should know that.
Well, fix me one too, I'm thirsty.
Well, just as soon as I get done playing bartender for the little mousies, I'll bring you a nice tall glass of lemonade.
I believe a brandy mist would more readily quench my thirst.
Well, you know good and well Doc Horton said no more liquor for you, Mama.
I'll be glad when that old quack drops dead. He ain't never forgiven me for refusing his proposal.
Jesus don't like it when you talk ugly, Mama.
Lillian, you are the churchiest woman God ever put breath in. I feel like I'm living in a convent. Can't talk, can't drink, can't do nothing.
Oh, it ain't that bad.
You'll be sorry for the way you've mistreated me when I'm dead and gone on.
Oh, I've been good to you.
You're just hoping to get my money when I die.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Oh, I know it sounds ugly, but it's the truth.
I wish you two wouldn't fight all the time.
Do you hear the way she talks to me?
I do, and it breaks my heart. I think we all ought to get down on our knees and ask God to teach us how to be more considerate of one another.
And after the way I've always stayed right here taking care of poor old crippled Mama, never dated, never lived a normal life like other women. No, I was always right here taking care of Mama. No time for beaux, no time for anything or anyone except Mama. And do you think she appreciates it? Huh, not one little iota.
Wasn't me that made you fat and bossy.
Mama!
Ain't no man wants to marry a fat, bossy woman.
And we need to ask God to bridle your wicked tongue, Mama.
You hear her, don't you? The way she talks to me? I swear you'd think the devil had gotten a hold of her lately.
It's a sign of the times, I tell you. The Bible says in the final days, parents will turn against their children and children against their parents. It's a sure sign of the second coming of our Lord Jesus.
Jesus. That's all you ever think about.
I'm waiting for him to come and swoop me up out of this old world.
Well, I'll be glad when he gets you. Maybe then I can have a little peace and quiet for a change.
Mama, that's blasphemy.
Well, it's the God's awful truth. I can't stand another minute of your constant preaching. It'd drive God Almighty crazy too if he had to hear it day in and day out.
Somebody's got to preach to you. Lord knows the last time you set foot in a church. When's the last time you had the sacraments?
Pour me some brandy and we'll commune together right now.
Morning, Mama.
How in this world can you stand this heat dressed from head to toe in black?
These are my widow rags, Mama. I'm in mourning.
How can you be a widow and you ain't never been married?
The same way you can be a wife and not have a husband.
I have a husband, thank you, and at least mine is married to me.
And I'd be willing to bet he's living with some other woman by now.
Everybody's not an adulterer like you, Gloria.
At least we consummated our love.
And we all know what that makes you.
A piece of ass. Well, that's all any woman is who sleeps with a man she's not married to. A piece for a while and an ass for the rest of her life.
Thank you for your kind words, Mama.
My flowers look awful this year.
Not enough rain.
Maybe God changed his mind and decided not to let it rain on the unjust.
I don't know. I don't think they were properly pollinated.
That's all you think about is sex, Gloria.
And if you thought a little more about sex and less about God, you might still have a husband.
Amen to that.
I have a husband, thank you, and he's off on a business trip.
Some business trip.
He's been detained.
For 20 years.
He'll come back, I just know he will.
Well, if you're lucky, maybe your husband and Jesus will both come back at the same time. Gloria, pour some brandy on these flowers. It'll perk them up. And pour me some too.
Oh, that does sound refreshing. Do you want that on the rocks or straight up, Mama?
Now, you know Mama can't have liquor, Gloria.
Oh, a little nip isn't gonna do her any harm.
I said she's not to have it, and I meant it.
I'm sorry, Mama.
Well, don't you apologize. You ain't the one refusing to give your poor old bedridden mama a drink.
Lillian, go bring Mama a glass of lemonade, please.
One more squirt of lemon and I'll be as bitter as you are. Do you have to clutter up the room with that contraption?
I have to iron you a dress for the party, Mama.
It's too hot to go traipsing around in that old rag.
This is your best summer dress, Mama.
I don't care what it is, I ain't wearing it.
Well, you can't go sashaying around here naked as a jaybird,
I
Mama.
don't see why not. It's my birthday and I was born naked.
You don't appreciate nothing nobody does for you.
I didn't ask you to do nothing for me anyway.
Well, you just remember that the next time you need somebody to help you totter to the toilet.
Liquor ain't nothing but an instrument of the Prince of Darkness.
It don't matter what color you are, everybody likes a drink every now and again.
If this were my house, I wouldn't even allow it to be brought in.
But this ain't your house, Lillian.
Here, Mama, here's you some lemonade.
What do you say, Mama?
This ain't my favorite glass.
Mama, a glass is a glass.
I always drink from my favorite glass.
Well, maybe it's dirty.
Oh, why is it dirty? I ain't drank from it today.
Well, have you washed it since yesterday?
Well, bring it to me dirty. I ain't afraid to drink after myself.
It's not dirty, it's presently engaged.
Engaged? To whom?
I have a fly trapped under it in the kitchen.
Well, pour him in another glass.
I can't, he'll fly away.
That's not very sanitary, Lillian.
I wanted to study him up close.
That way, when she gets to heaven, she'll know how to work her wings without even being taught.
I wanted to watch him suffocate.
Spoken like a true Christian.
Well, bring my glass in here then. If you're going to execute a fly, I want to watch too.
Well, I can get a little cotton ball and douse it in arsenic and put it under the glass.
Oh no, I want it to be death by natural causes.
Nothing like a quiet, peaceful morning at home with the family.
Now be careful, Mom. It took me all morning to catch him.
Well, why doesn't it move?
I think he's fainted. Let's give him a little air to prolong it.
Don't lift it, Mama. He was just playing possum.
Another victim escapes the clutches of the praying mantis.
Well, now that it's empty, you may as well put my lemonade in it.
We'll rinse it out first.
I'll fix it for you, Mama. Sorry if I come in, Mary Alice.
Come on in, Bessie Mae. You know you're always welcome in my house anytime, day or night.
Well, I always like to check. Never know what to expect in this here house. Morning, little afternoon, rather, lily afternoon. Violet, it sure is a hot day to be slaving over an ironing board.
Well, somebody's got to do it.
Just so it ain't me. Now, Mary Alice, I stopped by and picked up your medicine. Doc Wharton said to tell you it's a new prescription.
It's a new name for the same old sugar water, and I'll bet you my life it's more expensive too.
You'd have to be a fool to bet otherwise.
It's Betsy Mae Gardner out here talking.
It sure is. Girl, when are you going to stop grieving over some man you know you can't have and go on and find yourself another one?
If I can't have the one that I want, then I'll just do without, thank you.
If I can't have the one I want, I just make do with the one at hand.
Here, Mama, here's your little refreshment.
Ain't that sweet, the way she takes care of her mama?
Thank you, honey. She's the only one around here cares anything about me.
Dress for the party's all ironed, Mama.
I done told you I don't want to wear that wrinkled old rag.
Well, it's your best dress, Mama, and you know good and well I just ironed it.
They don't make dresses like they used to. Remember the dress William bought me for our wedding?
I sure do. It was a flowery print evening dress that he bought for you in New York City.
It was a genuine original imitation. Designed after dress I saw Madame Bernhardt wear.
You saw Sarah Bernhardt?
Oh, yes. Your daddy was very progressive. He took me to see her in one of those Frenchy plays at the Temple of Dramatic Arts. I was awed. I tried to pattern my life after her, but I never could match her glory.
Now, don't belittle yourself like that.
She had 4 illegitimate sons. And I was married and couldn't even have one.
No.
That was my one failing as a wife. And William, well, he never forgave me for it.
Now that is nothing but foolish talk. William doted over you, and you know it. Well, I ain't never seen no man hit Fool's Hill so hard, and I ain't never seen no two people so in love.
He used to court me in the garden. Our house was right on Main Street. My daddy knew how much I loved flowers, so he planted this enormous garden. I was in my prime. All the available men used to parade up and down the street, tipping their hats at me.
Remember how crazy Bernard Cobb was for you? Kept bringing you those fancy rose bushes to plant.
He always was a thorn in my ass.
Why, you never saw so many men. I mean, they was like bees swarming around a sweet-smelling vine of wisteria.
But your daddy was the only one for me. He was my first sweet William. When I fell for him, I planted them everywhere.
You see, Mama, I get it honest. You're just as much of a romantic as I am.
He used to nibble on my neck and ears right there in the garden with all the elite of Statesville frowning in disapproval as they strolled by.
And you loving every minute of it.
Of course. But I'd push him away and pretend to be appalled by his barbarous display of affection. He'd taunt and tease me, saying, "Mary Alice Beauty Spot, the great Carolinas touch me not."
And the first time you got pregnant, he was so excited.
That's when he bought this house. He came running in, showing me the deed and saying if I had a boy, he was going to sign it over to me, put it in my name. But Violet was just as disagreeable before she was born as she has been after.
Well, you don't have to be ugly, Mama.
Every time I conceived, he'd come running in showing me something that would be mine if I'd just bear him a son. With Lillian, it was an automobile.
An automobile.
I should have known that was a sign you'd end up driving me crazy.
And they was the first ones around here to own one, too.
Oh, yes, indeed. I told him not to buy it. Ain't natural, I said. A buggy without a horse? He guffawed right in my face and said old-fashioned ideas didn't suit me. To use my imagination.
He always did have a pioneer spirit about him.
We were the first to have an automobile, a telephone, an indoor toilet with running water, hot and cold. I think the toilet was Gloria's contribution.
How appropriate.
It was a sign I was going to be putting up with your crap my whole life.
You're disgusting.
You know, folks came from miles away just to look at it. Why, you'd thought they owned the eighth wonder of the world.
It sure was, only the placement was all wrong.
The placement is ideal, right between the parlor and the kitchen.
Your daddy's sentiments exactly. The problem was we failed to take into consideration the delicate condition of the human gastric system.
That's the only thing that ever rocked my belief in an omnipotent God. I just can't understand why mankind, made in the image of the all-powerful, has to squat to do such a disgusting bodily function.
Why, it's a part of the curse of the garden.
A garden needs manure and lots of it.
I believe she's talking about the Garden of Eden, Mama.
What's good for a flower garden is good for an apple orchard.
Well, I believe this conversation has gone on long enough. Now, you need to get ready for the party, Mama, now.
I think I'm too depressed to help with anything. I'm going to go take a nap.
Oh, you don't have to make excuses for helping me. I knew you wouldn't help me when I asked.
Well, good. I wouldn't want to disappoint you. Well, you'll be at the party, won't you, Bessie?
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Good. That way it won't be only old maids there.
God, I hate her.
I've got so much to do, I don't know what in the world I'm going to do to get it done. I honestly don't know where to start. Don't nobody around here help me one little bit.
Well, I'd be glad to lend you a hand, Violet.
Oh, Oh, well, if you don't mind, it'd be a big help if you could run Mama's bath and help her get ready.
I wouldn't mind a bit.
Oh, I do appreciate it, Bessie. And Lillian, maybe you could help me set up everything? I carried it all out this morning myself.
Ain't we gonna have my party in the formal dining room?
No, ma'am, it's so pretty, I thought we'd have it outside in the garden.
Who ever heard of having a party in a vegetable patch?
Well, it's only half vegetables, and as soon as the depression's over, I'll plant it all back.
My depression is endless.
Now, Mama, you've got lots to be thankful for, ain't she, Bessie?
Yes, ma'am, she surely has.
Come on, Lillian, we've got too much to do to waste any more time listening to her foolish remarks.
You know, Mary Alice, you've got some mighty fine daughters. Mighty fine. And you ought to feel ashamed of yourself for trying to make them feel bad like that.
If I'd known they was gonna turn out like they have, I'd have had you put them in a sack, tote them down to the river, and toss them.
Mary Alice, you are a mess.
Is it clear?
Oh, let me look. Yeah, it looks safe from here. You know, you're gonna have to be more careful. Give me that key so I can open this here box you got all locked up over here.
I can't help it. I'm bored. Give me a nip of that brandy and see if you can't doctor up that damn medicine.
All right, here's your brandy. Now, you know, I think that the doctor is getting suspicious of you for taking too much of this medicine because that's why he changed your prescription.
That mess is killing my sweet William.
Well, you know, you're only supposed to take this twice a day.
Who says?
Says so right here on the label.
Well, tear the damn thing off then. Lord knows nobody could put up with this crew sober.
Well, it's your fault, Mary Alice. You raised them girls to be old maids, the way you always got them hanging around your coattails all the time.
I did what I did because I had to.
Well,
Did you talk to Rosalie?
Mm-hmm.
And?
She should be due any day now.
Damn.
Well, I thought you'd be glad to have a grandchild on the way.
Did you invite her?
I did, and she got all weepy and said she accepts your apology and she will definitely be coming to your party.
Perfect.
You still haven't told me why you wouldn't be happy to have a grandchild on the way. I mean, I thought it'd bring some sunshine to this sorry-ass old house.
If I'm not careful, I could lose this house.
What are you talking about?
I have a few secrets I haven't even shared with you.
I thought you told me everything.
Not this. William left a will with some rather unusual stipulations. Here, read it.
My goodness. I, William Lee Hawthorne, being of a sound mind and body.
Oh, skip the lies and just go to the last part right there.
However, provided I should not be able to sire or heir in the time of my daily divorce, I do hereby bequeath to whichever of my daughters should bear me a grandson, and in honor of the son I never had, name him William. All my property, money, furnishings, and house, everything else will be divided equal. Lord have mercy. Tell me it ain't so.
I wish I could.
You mean if Rosalie's baby is a boy?
I'll lose everything, including a roof over my head.
So, that's why you did what you did.
Well, I knew Violet wouldn't be a problem. She's so bossy, she's more of a man than any man could want. And Lillian's husband came to me after their honeymoon and said she was so religious she wouldn't sleep with him. Well, I told him she'd never change, and I gave him some money so he could leave.
You are a sneaky one.
And that's not all. When I found out Gloria was in love with a married man, I went to him and told him if he didn't stop seeing her, I was going to tell his wife. Well, he was an outstanding member of the community with 2 children. So, even though he loved her, he did it.
But you messed up with Rosalie.
Rosalie always was a daddy's girl. just like him, had a mind of her own. There was nothing I could do to stop her. She knew how much her daddy loved theater, and ever since she was a little girl, she said she was going to New York and go on stage. When she turned 18, she packed her bags to go.
And that was when you faked your stroke.
Well, I thought I'd keep her here, but she said I had 3 daughters to care for me, and she was going to become the next Sarah Bernhardt. We haven't spoken since.
And you know, she never did make it as an actress, and so she took a job in a speakeasy as a flapper.
Call it what you want. She was a high-priced Jezebel. Well, I know because I sent my lawyer up there to check on her periodically. And then I found out he is one of her regulars.
You mean Joe Worship could be the father?
If what he says is true, we ought to name that child Target. Because every rich man in New York had a shot at it.
I can't believe that William would do a thing like this to you.
He never forgave me for not birthing him a son.
Well, it was as much his fault as it was
Of
yours.
course it was, but you don't know the half of it. After I got too old to be having any more babies, he went and found himself a young girl, half his age, who he had every intention of marrying.
Just like a man.
And after I gave him the best years of my miserable life,
And so you...
that's right, I got in the car and drove over the son of a bitch.
Mary Alice, how could you?
Accidents will happen.
Accident?
Well, I only meant to scare him.
What you meant and what you did is two different stories.
How did I know the car would skid?
Ignorance is no excuse in the eyes of the law.
He was planning to leave me penniless.
Is that any reason to kill a man?
Wars have been fought for a lot less.
I can't believe this.
Well, besides, it's his own fault. I told him not to buy no car. If he'd listened to me, he'd be alive today.
And you lied under oath in order to get that insurance money.
I had my fingers crossed.
Don't matter. A lie is a lie, and murder is murder.
Oh, he lied to me first, he did. He promised to love me till death do us part. I just made an honest man out of him.
How much did you get from that settlement?
Not enough.
You know, my conscience would never allow me to forgive myself if I let this crime go unreported.
You turned me in?
Unless you're willing to split that money with me 50-50.
I can't do that.
Now listen, Mary Alice, I am not a compromising woman, but I'd be willing to go 60-40. It's my final offer. What do you say?
That was decades ago. That money's all been spent.
All of it?
Every last cent. Here we are, smack dab in the middle of a depression, and my daughters are living like they always have. Why, just the other day, Violet got a package from Sears and Roebuck.
Well, if you ain't got no money, how'd you pay for it?
I have reason to believe that she paid for it with money she stole from me.
How can she steal what you ain't got?
I think she's found my inheritance.
Your what?
My daddy left me fairly well off, only he made me promise not to deposit it in no bank. He believed all bankers were Yankees at heart, and he refused to have anything to do with them after we lost the Civil War.
And you have been hoarding that money all these years.
Well, I knew if the Leach sisters found out about it, they'd suck me dry of that too.
Tell me where it is, I'll get it, and we'll hide it in a new place.
Well, during the war, my daddy had secret panels built into almost all the furniture to hide our valuables from the Union soldiers.
But what furniture?
The only furniture I ever owned, my dining room suit, and the shift robe Mom and Daddy gave me when I got married. I put half of it in the china cabinet and half of it in the shift robe.
Well, it's locked.
I know. A few weeks ago, Violet left me soaking in the tub for hours. And you should have heard the commotion going on in here. I bet that's when they got it.
Well, it's gone now.
Well, maybe you could snoop around and get in there during the party.
Well, what good is that money gonna do you if you lose your house?
I have no intentions of losing this house.
What kind of a web are you spinning now?
Well, now that Rosalie's accepted my apology, I'm gonna ask her to move back in here till after the baby's born. And if it's a girl, I'll just kick her out. And if it's not, well, I'll just have to nip that little sweet William in the bud.
Mary Alice!
It wouldn't be the first sweet William I've uprooted, now would it?
Looks to me like you're making a career out
I
of it.
can't wait for this.
Oh my God, they're coming.
I'm so excited. We'll just have the best old time.
Ain't you ready for your bath yet, Mama?
You know how hard it is to get her to do something before she's ready.
Put that box away and stop being so ornery. Lillian, go run some water. Bessie, you get on one side and I'll get on the other.
Let me get my key. Violet, get me my key.
Oh, no, it'll be right there when you get back. Nobody's gonna bother it, Mama. You can't bathe with the key on it anyway.
Well, what good's a safety box if you leave the key laying around?
I am not gonna put you back down and then have to get you up all over again for a key you don't need now anyway. Now stop whining, Mama.
If you weren't so dishonest yourself, you wouldn't distrust others so.
Is the water ready?
By the time you get her there, it will be.
Did you put those bath oils in it, the ones that look like candy?
Yes, ma'am.
We always fix it just the way you like it, don't we, Mama?
Mary Alice, you are spoiled rotten.
Every time I see those little beads, I just want to pop one right in my mouth and eat it.
Washing your mouth out with soap is probably a pretty good idea, Mama.
Mama's getting so hard to manage. I just don't know what the world I'm gonna do with her.
Do you think it's safe leaving her unattended like that?
Oh, Bessie's with her. Besides, I have to get ready for the party.
Why don't you go and do that? Right this minute. Why don't you go and get ready for the party? Go and get dressed. Why don't you do that?
Lillian.
What?
What are you hiding behind your back?
Oh, nothing. Nothing.
You are too righteous to ever get away with any kind of deceitfulness.
Who's being deceitful?
I can always tell when you're fibbing. Your head bobs.
I would have to be cursed with a conscience.
Now let me see what you're hiding behind your back.
Have you ever wondered what Mama keeps locked away in that box of hers?
You didn't.
It depends. Can you keep a secret?
If she finds out you've been going through her precious safety box, we'll have to put you in a box of your own, 6 feet under.
It's not just old photographs and letters like she's been pretending.
Mama doesn't have a deceitful bone in her body.
She's told you about Daddy's will then.
What? I didn't even know Daddy left one.
Well, he did.
Let me see that thing.
Oh, Violet, just look at all this.
Oh, well, we lost all this stuff when the market crashed.
God deliver us. Look at it.
What? Well, I don't think we need to worry, do you? I mean, you can't sow flower seeds in a dry bed.
Oh, God.
I'll get it. Calm down. It's just somebody at the back door now. You put that back where you found it, and I'm going to go get dressed for the party.
Look, some darling admirer sent Mom a bunch of red roses for her birthday. Oh, here, take care of these. You know, they are absolutely gorgeous. Oh, I wonder who they could be from.
Open the card and let's see.
They're not for us.
She'll never know. Open it.
All right. My favorite flower for my favorite lady on her favorite day. Love, your very own Shining Rose of Sharon. Happy birthday, Mama. Love, Rosalie. You know, she always was overly dramatic.
How quaint.
Is that a touch of animosity I detect in the voice of St. Lillian of Lip Fork Creek?
She only sends them to flaunt her wealth. My favorite flower for my favorite lady. on her favorite day. Your very own shining rose of Sharon, more like the great whore of Babylon.
Today shall be recorded as the day of St. Lillian's passionate desecration of Mother Mary's rosebuds.
She hasn't set foot in this house in over 15 years, not sent one little red cent for Mama's expenditures, not a fine howdy-do or nothing, and her making all that money. It's a disgrace.
You know, she vowed never to speak to Mama again unless she apologized. I wonder what made her change her mind. Oh, you don't think she'll come to the party, do ya?
Lord knows I hope not.
Mama, are you all right? I just feel so hard. I'll be all right, but you really should take Bessie's advice and be just a little more careful.
What in the world's all the commotion about?
Ain't nothing, everything's just fine now.
Mama was being hard-headed and almost failed.
Why can't you behave? I can't have a minute to myself without you showing yourself.
Here, Mama, here's your drink.
Now, you know she can't have that.
Let her have it. Her nerves are shot.
Well, she can't stand up sober.
Please, Violet, it'll make me more manageable.
Well, maybe, if you're good, we'll have a little toast at your party.
Thank God for small favors.
It's the small things that give us pleasure in life.
You know, pleasures, my dear, are kind of like men. They come in an assortment of shapes and sizes.
Ain't she awful? You never cease to astound me.
You know, my beau blurted out that very same thing just as he was about to...
Gloria!
Let her finish her story.
What, you want to have another stroke? Now, enough of this foolish talk. Mama, you weren't in the tub very long. Are you sure you're clean?
Tried to get her to stay in there longer, but she kept worrying about her precious safety box.
If you can't trust your own family, who can you trust?
Lillian, would you mind buttoning me up, please?
That's a beautiful dress you got on there, Violet. Makes you look 10 pounds thinner.
Oh, I thank you. But it's not the dress. I bought one of Professor Gale's famous three-lacer slim hip girdles with the improved Evertrim features. Yeah. Yeah. I ordered it from the Sears and Roebuck catalog.
The wonders of modern technology.
If that thing should bust, the impact would kill.
Mama, can't you say anything nice?
You got good coloring, Violet, considering the fact you can't breathe in that contraption.
Oh, Mama, you are hopeless. You laugh and don't help matters none.
I can't help it. She tickles me.
Bessie, would you mind getting that, please?
Anything to keep up appearances.
Here, Mama, you better put your robe on.
Oh, it's too hot.
Well, we got company coming. You can't be parading around here in your undies.
If you'd concentrated more on parading and less on preaching, you'd be a married woman today.
Well, ain't this a surprise? Colonel Cobb, come on in. Mary Alice, I hope you're decent, because you got a gentleman caller right here.
Well, I'm half decent, but that's all right. He's only half a man.
Well, Mary, I must say, you're just as feisty as ever.
Well, Colonel, I hope you haven't come a-calling today on business, because I've got so much to do and all.
What business would he have here?
Well, I don't know, Mama, some business or other.
Oh, don't worry, Violet. My only business today is pleasure. I'm delivering a birthday present to the birthday girl.
At what age do you suppose I'll blossom into a mature woman?
Ain't that sweet of him, Mama, remembering your birthday?
Here we have a company a-calling. Just look at this place. Looks like a cyclone hit. Bessie, pull up a chair for Colonel Cobb.
There's a chair right there. All he's got to do is sit in it.
I don't want him sitting that close, salivating all over me.
Mind your manners, Mama.
Gloria, would you mind fixing the Colonel a drink, please?
Most certainly. So what's your pleasure, Colonel?
Have you ever? It's my birthday, and he gets the drink.
Well, Mary, maybe you and I'll share a drink.
Well, it'll have to be a lemonade. Mama can't drink liquor since her stroke.
If I suck one more lemon, my eyes will turn yellow.
Well, I'll pass too. I was never one to drink alone.
Well, I'm surprised you haven't died of thirst.
Well, Colonel, I do hope you'll overlook the mess. There's just so much to do and so little time to do it.
With this vision of beauty sitting here, I hadn't even noticed.
It ain't my beauty that's blinded you, fool. It's the years. Now, why don't you quit stalling and offer me my present and leave?
You act like a little heathen, Mama. Colonel, please accept my apologies.
Oh, there's no need to apologize. I'm used to her joking and carrying on.
I ain't joking, and you know it.
Oh, well, Mary, I brought you a box of chocolates. Happy birthday.
I don't want your stale candy, you old miser.
Mama,
This is the same box of candy he's been trying to give me for the last 5 years.
You talk foolish sometimes, Mama. It might be the same brand.
It's the same box. I thought last year it looked awful familiar, so I put my initials on it, and there they are, see?
You are incorrigible. I've never been so humiliated in my life.
In that case, you ought to come visit more often.
That's it. I don't know why I put up with your insulting manner all these years, but no more. The time will come, my dear, sooner than you think, that you'll have to call on me.
If I was laid out a corpse and all it took to resurrect me was one kiss from you, I'd rather feed the worms.
Be careful what you say, Mary Alice. Your words may come back to haunt you. Good day.
Oh, Colonel Cobb, I am so sorry. Here, let me show you the door.
That's right. Show him the door. He's so stupid, he's probably forgotten where it is.
I'm sorry, Colonel. Now, you have a nice day. You hear? There is no sense for such rudeness, Mama, and after he remembered your birthday.
He's been trying to get me ever since I can remember. And ever since your daddy died, he's been absolutely impossible. Every time I get within hearing distance, he starts proposing. It's just about done drove me crazy.
He always has been mighty sweet on you, Mary Alice.
well, not anymore. Well, he won't be.
Oh, good. Maybe now the old fool will leave me alone.
Oh, I don't know, Mama. There's nothing more attractive than what you can't have.
And she speaks with the voice of experience.
I've never seen such despicable behavior in all my days.
Mama, maybe you should consider marrying him. It would relieve us of all our financial worries.
I could slaughter you and sell you as fatback for a penny a pound and relieve the financial worries of the entire world.
Mary Alice, you are a mess if ever there was one.
You seem to be insulting everyone today, Mama.
Now, she's insulting to everyone every day. Now, it's time you got dressed for the party, Mama. I'll get it.
This place has got more people coming and going than a flop house.
Oh my God! It's Rosalie!
Oh, well, don't just stand there. Let her in.
Well, I can't. She's pregnant.
Well, it ain't contagious. Come on in, Rosalie. Come on in.
This is just so strange. I don't know whether I should come in or not.
Of course you should. This is your home.
Somebody just walked over my grave.
Is that real?
Of course it
Mary Alice!
Mary Alice!
Come on in, child. Let me look at you. What is it they say, Bessie Mae? If it's a boy, you gain in the stomach, and if it's a girl, in the butt. Or is it the other way around? It's been so long, I just can't remember.
Happy birthday, Mama.
Mama, you can walk!
And dance too, it would seem.
Of course I can, you crazy fools. I'm not. Oh, you're right. I can walk. I've been cured. It's a miracle. Ain't that right, Bessie?
It is right hard to believe.
Violet? Violet? Violet, are you all right? Yo, I think there's something seriously wrong with Violet. I mean, look at how funny her eyes look. Violet, are you all right?
Mama, how could you? How could you ever be so deceitful after I slaved myself nearly to death all these years? How could you lie to me?
I ain't no liar. I've just been cured somehow.
Oh, but how is that possible, Mama? How is it you've been crippled all this time until today? Why today, Mama? Could you explain that?
Well, I don't rightly know. You tell her, Bessie.
It's beyond my comprehension. I'll never know what possessed you to get up and walk like that.
It's a miracle, that's all. Like in the Bible. You tell her, Bessie, you know more about the Lord's ways than I do.
I know what it was.
You do?
Yes, it had to do with the shock of seeing Rosalie here pregnant and all, and it shook something loose in your brain, and it traveled on down your body, all the way through your legs and your feet, and pretty soon you was up and walking before you knew you couldn't.
That does have a ring of truth to it. Yes, that must be it. Rosalie's leaving gave me a stroke, and her returning has cured me.
Well, this certainly seems like the occasion for a celebration. I mean, Mama's cured, Rosalie's pregnant, and I'm thirsty.
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
I know I could use one.
Oh, here, Rosalie, honey, you shouldn't be standing in your delicate condition. Lord knows I don't want anything happening to that baby.
A delivery boy brought you a dozen roses. Mama, sit down before you fall flat on your face.
Please be careful with those roses. I paid good money for them.
You don't need to make no announcement. Everybody here knows you've got plenty of money.
I didn't mean to upset you. Why did I come back here?
And what are you doing up? You know as well as I do that you can't walk.
She's been cured.
Cured?
The Lord heard her prayer and sent her a miracle.
Why in the world, if the Lord was going to start performing miracles again, would he start with her? She doesn't even go to church.
What makes you so sure it's God's work? Looks more like the work of some conniving little devil, if you ask me.
I go to church every Sunday and pray day in and day out. And what do I get? Nothing. While it can't be. For God is a just God and he'd never desert me.
Look at these roses. They're a mess.
It's been a bad year for roses with the depression and all. Farmers couldn't afford rose food. They're just famished, that's all.
I'm gonna have to report to the florist.
Don't complain.
Well, I can't pay money for roses that look like this.
Have a little mercy. The delivery boy was really a little old man, blind in one eye and cataracts in the other. He took this job to support his family. It's his third wreck this week, and the boss said he's going to fire him if it happened again. He begged me not to report him. I swore to the good Lord that I couldn't. And I don't want you to make me into a liar. It must be hard him riding that bike in his age.
What's wrong with your head?
She always trembles when she speaks of the less fortunate.
She looks like she's fixing to speak in tongues.
Forked tongues.
Just calm down, Lillian. If it's gonna upset you this much, I won't report it.
Thanks be to God.
She's so full of compassion.
She's full of shit.
I wish you wouldn't use that language in my presence.
Leave and I won't.
Now, let's not have this little celebration turning into a family feud.
Then we better change the guest list.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe a little toast will brighten things up. Rosalie?
Oh, thank you, but in my present condition, just the smell of alcohol makes me a little nauseous.
You know, if it bothers her, maybe none of us should have any.
Oh, the hell we shouldn't. Here, Rosalie, have my lemonade. I ain't drank from it.
Here, Violet, have a drink.
Thank you.
Lillian, you want some lemonade too?
No, I think I need some brandy too, if you don't mind.
Well, sister, the Lord does work in mysterious ways.
I've been waiting for this all day. Quick, somebody say something so I can drink.
Oh, you say something, Rosalie. You're the poet in the family.
To our most marvelous mother on this most marvelous of marvelous days.
You're marvelous. Cheers.
It's like taking a drink from the lake of fire and brimstone.
Oh, I think the baby wants to join in Mama Feel.
Well, I don't feel nothing.
let's stop, but just wait a minute.
You know, Mary Alice, this brings back memories of when you were pregnant. Remember that?
Oh, yes. William would put his head on my tummy and say, Mary, Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? With silver bells and cockle shells?
And pretty maids all in a row.
I never should have let him say that last part. Lord, he wanted a son so badly.
The only reason men ever want women's to make more men.
There, did you feel that?
Oh, my, what a strong kick.
He kicks like a man. Well, women kick women too.
Oh, that's right. Remember how hard Violet kicked before she was born?
One cow per family is enough. Besides, it's her daddy's fault she's a girl. On the very day I went into labor, he stopped by the roadside and picked me a bouquet of violets. I always swore Violet changed her sex at the last minute to make the flowers appropriate.
Well, he should have gotten Sweet Williams the next time.
No, I kept conceiving out of season.
Oh, well, if this one's a girl, what are we gonna call it?
A miracle.
Well, I don't care what sex it is, it'll be a miracle.
You never can tell until it gets here.
I know, but I sort of think it's gonna be a boy. It's just a premonition, but I keep dreaming that I'm lying in a bed of Sweet Williams.
Oh, your funeral blanket,
When
perhaps.
I was a little girl, I promised my daddy that if I ever had a baby, I'd name it after him.
I feel faint.
Rosalie, you know, it's a delight seeing you again and all, but you can imagine our shock when you came waltzing in. I mean, we all know that you and Mama did not part on the best of terms.
Well, and I wasn't going to come. But that apology that Mama gave me was just so beautiful. It touched my heart, and I just had to come.
Mama apologized.
And I mean it too.
Oh, as if one miracle wasn't enough.
When I found out about Rosalie's condition, I felt just awful. A mother should be with her daughter at a time like this.
Oh, Mama, you have made me so happy.
I was hoping you'd move back home, Rosalie, where I could keep an eye on you till after the baby's born.
Well, that's awful nice, Mama, but where would she sleep?
I'm sure we can make some arrangements.
What kind of arrangements? Mama.
I don't know. With our past and all, we might be moving a little too fast.
The past is unimportant. At a time like this, you need your family.
Well, it would give us a chance to get to know each other better, to get reacquainted. Wouldn't that be marvelous? And you'd be part of my life and the baby's life.
Oh, all of us back here together again. It'll be just like old times, won't it, Violet?
It's a wonderful idea, Mama. I will stay here, and we'll be one big happy family.
Now I done heard it all.
Oh, I feel sick.
It's probably just the brandy.
You know, this little celebration has turned into a major big deal. I think we should open the dining room after all.
Oh, that's an excellent idea. Bessie Mae Gardner, you are brilliant.
Just so you know it.
Where's the key?
Inhale.
I gotta get some air.
Not till I get the key. Where is it?
Well, I don't know.
Don't you lie to me. Where is it?
Well, I lost it.
Mama! Gloria, get her out of here. There's some things that are unfitting for a mother to see.
Come on now, you no need you getting all upset, not in your condition.
It's gonna be all right, honey. Everything's gonna be just fine. You'll see. Where is it?
Mama, you shouldn't slap her like that.
You shut up if you don't want some of the same. I'm a law-abiding citizen, and I can discipline my children as I see fit. Now, give me that key before I break your nose.
My hiccup stopped.
How much of it have you spent? I know you found it. Don't try and deny it.
What?
The money from my inheritance.
What money?
Don't play dumb with me. The money you found hid behind the secret panel of the china cabinet.
Oh my God.
How much have you spent, and where's the rest of it?
It's not here.
You better not have put it in no bank. My daddy hated banks.
It's not in the bank.
Where is it then?
Violet sold it.
She sold money?
I hope she got more for it than it's worth.
Not the money.
She wouldn't dare sell my china cabinet.
It went with the suit.
You sold my dining room suit?
Well, we had to eat.
You cantankerous, conniving, canine turd.
You don't have to get vulgar.
Vulgarity is the only privilege the poor can afford.
We still have each other.
Would you shut the hell up?
Well, we've managed this far thinking we were poor. Surely we can manage now that we really are.
Well, eventually you're gonna run out of furniture.
Well, I couldn't help it, Mama. I was desperate.
Well, you've got to get it back. Who'd you sell it to?
Colonel Cobb.
You sold it to Colonel Cobb? That's that. We'll never get it back.
Maybe if we tell him the truth, he'll give it back.
I will never understand how I could give birth to an idiot.
Mary Alice, I have an idea. What we gotta do is send a personal invitation to Colonel Cobb to escort you to your birthday party tonight.
No, thank you. I've endured enough torments for one day.
And then, while you're whining and dining him, we'll get the key and over to his house and get your money, and he'll bring it back here, and he'll never be the wiser.
You mean I gotta keep that old fool entertained while y'all are out stealing my money?
Unless you want to get along without it.
Well, there's one thing for sure. The value of money may decrease, but never the price paid to get it.
You better apologize and make it sound good.
This apologizing is more habit forming than brandy.
Mama, you gotta come check on Rosalie. She can't stop crying, keeps talking about how all she wants is for us to act like a family.
Well, what the hell does she think we're doing? Oh, never mind, I'll take care of it. Here, seal this with a kiss and deliver it to Colonel Cobb.
Wish me luck.
Mama, come check on Rosalie.
Bet she won't stay now.
Oh, she'll stay. Come on, Gloria. After we get her calmed down, would you mind helping me? We can start moving Violet's stuff out of her room.
You're kicking me out of my room?
Well, surely you don't expect Rosalie to sleep down here in her condition, do you? Come on, Gloria, we got work to do.
Just look at her. She thinks she really pulled it off. Well, she don't fool me one little iota. Not now, not ever again. I see right through her little schemes.
Oh, Violet, this is just awful. What are we gonna do?
We're gonna have to come up with a plan of our own.
You know, if Rosalie has a boy, we're finished.
Well, I know, Lillian, I know.
Oh, Violet, I'm so frightened, so very frightened. What are we gonna do?
Well, maybe you should pray, Lillian.
Our Father, who wrote this awful will. Oh, Violet, I can't pray. I've lost the faith.
I can't believe Mama did this to me after I've given up my whole life to take care of poor old sick Mama who probably ain't never really been sick a day in her life.
It's a shame and disgrace.
And then Rosalie comes prancing in here with her fat old belly and takes over everything.
This stuff is strong. Maybe I ought to go get some milk to mix in with it.
I don't want nothing near me that smells of baby's breath.
You're right, I didn't think of that. You know, the more of this I drink, the less I think about anything.
You know, I should have been a mother. I was always the maternal one.
Ain't that the gospel truth? I remember that time when you were young, you squatted over that egg for days on end, just trying to experience the joys of motherhood.
Yeah, And I would have hatched it too if I hadn't lost my balance.
Okay, y'all, everything's proceeding as planned. Rosalie's just about moved in, Bessie's back, and Colonel Cobb accepted Mama's invitation. Lillian, don't you realize what this means? God has finally answered one of your prayers.
God's just as fickle as the men he made in his image.
Our Lillian of Doubting Thomas, I can't believe it.
Well, it's the gospel truth. He deserted me just like my husband did.
What could have possibly caused such disenchantment?
The belly of the beast.
What in the world?
She's talking about Rosalie.
Oh, come on now. It won't be all that bad. We'll grow accustomed to his little footsteps, his tiny little hands.
Yeah, sticky handprints all over my walls.
And I bet y'all be the very ones volunteering to babysit for him. He'll call you auntie and bring you flowers.
That don't sound so bad, Violet.
Well, you two can take turns changing and washing his diapers.
I'm taking shit off no man again as long as I live.
Lillian, such language. I am shocked.
And you know, the great little water pistols, perfect aim.
Must we discuss his anatomy?
He will have one, you know.
The realities of life are more than I can bear.
Well, the reality of the matter is that after he's born, we are not going to be around to babysit.
What in the world are you talking about?
Well, we found out that our beloved daddy left a will.
Oh, don't tell me Mama's been holding back on our inheritance.
Oh, it's worse than that, much worse.
Now, Daddy states in his will that if one of his daughters should bear a son and name it after him, he'd leave everything to her and the rest of us get nothing.
Goodness. Well, maybe it won't be a boy.
Who are you kidding? With our luck, that's just blind faith. Open your eyes so you can see.
She would share her wealth with us. I mean, she is our sister after all.
Cain and Abel were brothers.
Times have changed.
Well, what would you do in the same situation?
Give me that bottle. I need a drink. That's it.
What? What's it?
A nice, refreshing brandy mist with just a splash of poison.
I don't see how poisoning Gloria's gonna do us any good.
It's not for Gloria, you fool. It's for Rosalie.
Oh, good God, no! I don't want to light up no jailhouse. What would the neighbors say?
Well, at least we'd have a roof over our heads.
Wait a minute. We are going about this all wrong.
There's no right way to snuff out a sister.
No, it's not Rosalie we need to destroy, but the will.
Well, I like the first plan better myself.
Where's the will?
Locked away in Pandora's box.
No, it ain't no use. It's locked, and you can bet Mama ain't gonna part with the key now.
Just a minute. All right, let me see that. Oh, there.
How'd you do that?
Oh, honey, when you're in a relationship with a married man, unlawful entry becomes a way of life.
You've still been seeing him.
Mama ain't the only one with secrets.
Well, then why have you been in mourning all this time?
Let's just say deception runs in the family. Oh, here it is.
Okay, hold it right there, sisters. I am sorry to inform you, but I believe that will rightfully belongs to me.
My goodness, what has happened to you, honey child?
Oh, it's been a day of miracles for both Mama and me.
Oh, hallelujah, I'm so happy. I hope you have a litter, a dozen boys and a dozen boys.
And look at me, Mama. My husband finally came home. And you'll never believe it. He's the President of the United States.
That must be the results of the New Deal.
And I'm going to be the First Lady.
Oh, good. Now you can have a son by each senator.
Oh, Mother, we are so fortunate. You're getting 3 grandsons, and we're getting what we deserve. It's truly been a day of miracles.
Oh, but the greatest miracle of all is that your very own mother is sprouting sweet Williams of her own.
Not since Sarah have seed stage
Jesus, I done seen it all.
I suppose that this is responsible for your delicate conditions.
I don't see why not. It's taken the blame before.
And what's wrong with you? Labor pains?
I have to go potty.
That's what happens when you drink too much.
Well, don't just stand there punishing your bladder. Go. Now, I know it's hard for you ladies to work in your Oh, what's going on here? Hold it right there. Don't you dare take another step. And you get your filthy paws on my stuff.
I was just trying to help.
You've done more than enough already.
All right, where is it? Hand it over.
Where is what, Mama? Is one of your precious photographs missing?
You know good and well what I'm talking about. Don't you lie to me.
Why do you? What about all your lies? All this time lying around here pretending to be ill with us, waiting on you hand and foot. And there's that other little lie that you've kept hidden all these years.
Looks
Give
like
that
the game
to
is
me.
up.
No, ma'am, I will not. I don't know what kind of scheme you got brewing, Mama, but I'm willing to bet my life that Daddy's last will and testament has something to do with it.
You stupid cow. Do you think they'd give me the original?
Well, I never thought
You never do. That's right, I've known about your daddy's will since the day he died. But I didn't say anything because I was afraid. I was afraid if I told anyone, I'd lose everything.
But you should have known you could trust us, Mama. After all, we're your family.
What the hell do you think your daddy was? I trusted him and look what it got me. Foolish promises and all the love I could stand. If a beautiful home, if wonderful furniture and all the modern conveniences, if. But I was human and I failed. And for that he could never forgive me. So he planned to pull a Hank Snow and drive off into the sunset with some young gal.
But you got to the car before he
And
did.
that's why I kept you all here hanging on to my coattails. And it's why I asked Rosalie back here. But it was as much for you all as it was for me. As long as she's here, I can keep an eye on her. And if she has a girl, well, I'll just kick her unloyal ass right back out. And if it's a boy,
And if it's a boy, what, Mama?
I'll hold him and
Oh, Mama,
Well, I gotta protect my interests, don't I?
aren't I part of those interests, Mama? I didn't come here because I want this house. I came here because I wanted a home. You're my family, for God's sake, my own flesh and blood.
Blood is thicker than water, but thinner than dough.
There are some things more important than money.
Where'd you ever learn anything so ridiculous?
Not in this house, that's for sure. When I left, I could not understand why you were the way you are. But I vowed to find out, and I swore I'd never be like you.
Well, you didn't need to worry about that, because you're just like your daddy.
No, I am not. I am not like any of you. Remember when you sent our family lawyer to New York to spy on me? Well, he became one of my regular patrons. And over time, I got him to tell me everything.
So you've known about this all along?
Yes, I have, and more besides. Mama, he told me about the will.
Then why didn't you do something about it sooner?
Well, because he also told me that you were the one that got behind the wheel and murdered my daddy.
Oh my God, that's slander. We should sue him.
I didn't believe him. But then he told me you'd done it because Daddy had met a young girl, that he planned to leave you and run off and marry her so he could finally have that son he'd always wanted. And I felt sorry for you. I'd been trying to make it on my own in New York, and I knew firsthand how hard it was for women. And once I understood, I vowed I'd never get in a situation like yours, and no matter what it took, I'd never be dependent on any man for any reason. So, I used men, just like they'd always used women. I took their money and I invested it, and I got rich. I was the belle of the ball, the toast of Manhattan, the most famous flapper of them all. But I knew the stock market and the banks were the domain of men, so I didn't totally trust them. I put my money in a safety box. And when the banks went bankrupt and the stock market crashed, I was still well off.
So you don't even need your mama's house.
That's right, I've got enough money to buy my own and more.
But you said if you had a son, you'd name him after Daddy.
Well, I decided I wanted a child, and if it was a boy, I would name it after Daddy, to remind me to raise him differently, to raise him to respect women and treat them like equals, like fellow human beings, not something to own and exploit. But in my heart of hearts, I hoped it would be a little girl, so I could love her and teach her and do for her all the things that you never did for me.
We were all wrong about you, Rosalie.
Yes, you were. And I had planned to help you all out.
You still can.
Who would have believed it? Rosalie's the answer to our prayers.
Oh, but not now. I now see how you really are, and all I want to do is get away from you. And,
All this excitement done got that baby shook up. Here, have a
She
drink of this.
can't
It'll
have
calm you
that.
down.
It's got brandy in it. It'll make her nauseous.
Here, give it here. I need it more than she does.
Mama, no!
You shut up. Your days of bossing me are over. If I want a drink, then by God and by Jesus, I'll have one.
Do you know what this means?
Rosalie's done forsworn the creed of greed. Lord only knows what the consequences could be.
Whoever heard such bullshit?
Oh, my Lord, what is wrong with her now? Mama, Mary Alice Hawthorne, if you don't be all I have ever seen, nobody is going to believe your tricks this time.
She's had a heart attack.
How can she have an attack on something she ain't even got?
well, I am not going into labor. I am not going here or now.
You did this to her? Yeah, coming in here like this, talking about things more important than money. Who ever heard of such foolishness?
I most certainly did not. What did I do?
You killed her with kindness.
Oh, I did. Oh, please not here. Please stay. No,
Now,
She's dead.
no,
She
what?
can't see nothing.
Lillian, go heat up some water and come on now, honey. You sit right down right over here. And Gloria, go call Doc Wharton for your mama, because I think we're going to have to prove she ain't dead before she's going to get up. Now, come on, everything's going to
Please
be
not.
all
Okay,
right.
you just gotta stay.
Well, come on in the bedroom then. Come on now. Get up, everybody. Get snap to it now. We got a baby on the way.
Where are you going?
I'm gonna run get Doc Wharton.
It's too late. She's not faking this time. She's dead.
And I don't have a decent black dress to my name.
It's Colonel Cobb. What are we gonna do?
Maybe we should just tell him the truth.
Now, this is no time to panic. Now, just a minute. We've got to proceed with our plan.
How are we going to proceed with Mama dead?
I've got an idea. Here, Lillian, take this, go in the bathroom, and put white streaks in your hair. Don't ask any questions, just go. Gloria, turn on the radio, draw the curtains, and invite the Colonel in.
What are you doing?
Just go to the door and follow my lead.
Come in. I just hope you know what you're doing.
And make sure that he takes off his glasses.
All right, ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Well, hello, Colonel Cobb. What a pleasure. Oh, do come in.
You don't mean to tell me Mary can't afford a maid no more?
Oh, no, sir. We still have a maid. She's just out. Ma, don't you look handsome today?
Why is it so dark in here? They turn off your electricity.
Oh, of course not. You must take into consideration a woman's vanity. You know, Mama's not the young flower you once knew.
Oh, well, when you get to be my age, you realize that the last rose of summer is still a rose. Now, where is she?
Colonel, Mama made me swear that I'd make you remove your glasses.
Oh, she knows damn well I can't see nothing without my bifocals.
Well, she won't receive you if you don't remove them.
If I don't want to end up henpecked, I gotta show her who's boss right.
Oh, no, Colonel. Mama just wants to remember you the way you were. You know, the way you looked in the height of your manly pride.
Well, I guess it couldn't hurt to pamper her a bit. I hope she's happy. Never be able to find her.
Oh, here, I'll guide you, Colonel.
You have no idea how long for this day to arrive. Thought the old bat died before she came to her senses. Took me off my hop.
Why, Colonel, what a pleasure to see you again.
Likewise. Oh, and who is this radiant vision of livelihood poised so prettily on this pedestal?
Mama, don't be rude. Offer him your hand. Oh,
Oh, I took your breath. I must say, you're as cold as ever.
Oh, it's this old house. It's terribly drafty.
Oh, yes. I knew that sooner or later you'd come to your senses and call for me. It's my mother's old wedding band. Remember the first time I showed it to you? You laughed at me and said it looked like a nut bolt. You thought you were too good for me then. I've never known you to be so dead silent. I must say, this sudden change in you is quite appealing. Sensuous even. Mary Alice, I want you for my wife. Together we can rise above the poverties of life. With your money and my genius, nothing will be too great for us. I know it's silly, but after all these years, I still love you. I love you till your dying day. Even after.
that's reassuring news.
She speaks. Oh, speak again, my heavenly angel. Answer me, please. Please let your answer be yes. Send this old man to his grave happy.
Answer him.
Oh no, I can't do this.
Oh, have I wounded your pride? Oh, is that the sound uttered as a cold heart pumps fresh loving blood into its chambers? Why do you keep me in suspense? Will you or will you not concede to be my wife?
Answer him.
I can't.
No? Then I must depart.
You can't stop now. We don't have the keys yet.
Goodbye to my only love.
Wait.
Oh, you little tease, Mary. Mary, I know you feel a little guilty, and that's to be expected, but you've been true to William far too long. It's time to stop living again.
Get him out of here.
Colonel, give Mama a few seconds. She's too full to speak.
Oh, yes.
What is wrong with you?
I can't accept his proposal.
Why not?
She doesn't love him.
People marry for reasons other than love.
She practically denied him with her last breath.
And if you deny him now, it'll be your last.
Why do you burden me with that heavy silence? I'm getting too old to continue courting rejection. Answer now, forever hold your peace.
Accept him.
I can't. I have too much respect for her.
It's for her own good.
How could you say that?
Without the money, we're going to have to bury her in a burlap sack.
I can't. I just can't.
Don't you have any respect for your mother?
Farewell, my love. I shall mourn your loss.
I guess you know you're going to have to get a job now.
Yes, I'll marry you. Yes, I'll be your wife.
Oh, my sweet, sweet Mary. You'll never know how happy you have made me. At long last, we shall be united in the eternal bliss of matrimony. Oh, you're frigid.
Violet, get Mama a blanket.
Oh, no need. I'm in the mood to celebrate. Could I have the pleasure of this dance?
Oh my God, she can't dance.
Well, I don't see why not.
It's against her religion.
What religion?
A dancing leg and a praying knee never grew on the same body.
Oh, my Mary, a Puritan, never. Come on, Mary, get up and shake a leg. Get the old blood flowing.
Mama doesn't move very well since her stroke.
Well, it's high time she learned to lean on a strong man anyway. Come on, Mary. I whisper sweet little nothing in your sweet little ear.
Tell Lillian to hurry up.
Relax, my dear, you're too stiff.
What in the hell is wrong with her?
Oh, she fainted from shock.
You know, Mama does dance rather well considering her condition, doesn't she?
Lillian, listen to me. This is no time for one of your pranks now. Lillian.
I'm sorry. I thought I saw. What's he doing to her?
Just dancing.
Oh!
No, this is no time to get faint.
ain't eating her, for God's sakes. Calm down.
Calm down. Have you lost your mind? I feel faint.
No.
Okay, just take a deep breath. You all right now?
Under the circumstances, I'm as well as can be expected.
Good, now take your clothes off.
I will not. I may have lost my faith, but I haven't lost my mind.
Here, I'll help you.
Gloria, get her off of me. She's a sick woman.
It's part of the plan, silly. As soon as you get undressed, Gloria will cut in on the castles over there, and while she's dancing, we'll get Mama undressed. Now hurry, get out of this dress.
I can't undress in front of that man.
Oh, he ain't gonna see nothing. He is blind as a bat.
Now hurry! As soon as we get Mama stripped, you can put on her dress and pretend to be her. And then while you're keeping him entertained, Gloria and I will get the keys, go to his house, and get our money.
You're gonna leave me here alone with that man.
Don't get all excited, honey. He's too old to do anything.
Oh, Mary, you're wonderful. What is that wild new dance you're doing?
Mama, stop showing off. You hear me? You're gonna cause yourself to have another heart attack. I really think you need to sit down and rest for a few minutes. Colonel, you dance so divinely.
Oh.
Would you do me the honor?
Here, help me get her undressed.
Oh, well, Colonel, it has been quite a while since I've had the pleasure of dancing with a man.
Well, I've danced with more women today than I have in decades. Though I am starting to tire a bit myself.
Oh, don't stop yet. Just a little bit longer.
I'll do my best.
Okay, now you put it on.
You're gonna have to stop wiggling so much. You cause my blood pressure to shoot up.
Why, Colonel, you are a perfect delight.
Oh, I better stop and take a little rest. I don't want Mary here getting jealous.
Oh, she's right over here, Colonel. Resting on the bed.
I will not entertain any man in my underwear.
It's getting hot in here.
Let me take your jacket.
Yes. Where is my Mary?
Here, right over here.
Oh, yes. Oh, Mary, isn't this a little presumptuous of you? I know we don't have a lot of time, but at least try to wait until after the ceremony. Oh! I can see that all these years without a man have taken their toll. But my dear, you must think of my age. Don't expect anything spectacular unless you want to be a bride and a widow all in the same night.
Could be a match made in heaven.
Not yet.
Are you addressing me?
Well, yes. Don't get all settled in yet, because I want to dance with you, too.
Oh, I don't think I can take this much exercise.
Well, we'll slow dance then. I'd rather slow dance anyway.
Oh, I don't know. Mary here may get jealous.
Oh, Mama won't mind, will you, Mama? See? She doesn't mind at all. Yeah, come on. Let's dance.
No. Your arms over here and mine go here.
I don't have much experience with this sort of thing. I'm a little out of practice.
That's understandable.
The keys aren't in his coat. You're going to have to pick his pocket.
Relax, you're stiffer than Mary.
Holding a man makes me like that.
Holding women did the same thing to me in my youth.
He's an old pervert. I can't go through with this.
It's too late to back out now.
Why can't we just tell him the truth?
Wherever do you come up with these sick ideas of yours?
I give up. I can't dance with you.
What I do now?
I refuse to follow and you won't let me lead.
Oh.
Mary, honey, where are you?
Oh, she's right here, Colonel. Now get those keys.
Who are you, some sort of quick change artist?
I was cold.
Oh, you seem much warmer now.
Oh, I'm dressed. What are you doing?
I'm responding. What are you doing?
I'm trying to get the key to your heart.
Oh, you've already got it, my dear. I suddenly feel young again. Something stirring down there. Oh, Mary, you're wonderful. You're in such good shape. Oh, no, don't. You must keep still. I don't want to stain these trousers.
Give me the keys.
I don't have it.
Mary, come back here.
No!
Oh, I get it. You want to play hide and seek.
I checked his pockets. They're not there.
Is that it, you naughty girl?
Did you check his pants pockets?
Are you out of your mind? He's already broken me.
All right, but if I find you, I get to choose the next game. Want to play doctor?
If you don't get those keys, we don't get our money.
I'm afraid if I reach into his pants, he'll take it as an invitation to reach into mine.
Well, that's a risk you're gonna have to take.
I refuse to prostitute myself.
You'll only be doing it for the money. Oh, just think about that money.
If you don't come here by the time I count to 3, I'm going to put my glasses on and
Don't
come
you
looking for
dare!
you.
I'm coming, I promise. I
Down
promise.
there, Lily.
Oh, how passionate you are, my dear. I hear chimes. I think you stained my pants.
Hurry up, Gloria, I need that water. Hurry up now. Lillian, what, you ought to be ashamed of yourself trying to steal your own mama's beau. Are you that desperate for a man? Now get out of her things and come on and help me. We gotta deliver this youngin'.
Lillian, what's going on here? Why, you cheap little tot rubbing up against an old man like that. If your mother knew, where is your mother? Mary! Mary, you ought to be ashamed. Trying to make me think you were in such good physical shape. What were you trying to do? Give me a heart attack?
Mama, get up, get up. You hear me this instant, get up, Mama.
She can't get up. She's dead.
Drunk. She is dead drunk. You know, we all tried to make her stop, but she was so nervous about the date with you and all.
You've been hitting the bottle again, have you, Mary Alice? She is dead. You were trying to marry me off to a dead woman.
Well, you said you loved her and beyond her dying days, and we just took you at your word.
This must be against the law. If not the laws of the land, surely the laws of God.
It could have its advantages.
Yeah, she's a lot more manageable now.
I see. And will we live here?
Of course not. She go live with you. It's the traditional way.
Oh, but traditional values is what this family's all about.
Now, am I to presume that once we're married, what's hers will be mine and what's mine will be hers?
Absolutely.
Then I'll marry her.
You will.
Lillian! I fear our dear sister has become anemic. Lillian, are you all right? Pull yourself together.
You know, being a bit of a traditionalist myself, I shall require a substantial dowry.
A dowry?
Oh, surely you see the impossibility of such a request, Colonel, as traditionally it is the father who pays the dowry, and Mama's father, as you surely will recall, died nearly half a century ago.
Well, I suppose you're right. Now, I shouldn't be too greedy, now should I? I mean, after all, once we're married, her money will be mine.
Talk like a lunatic.
I don't quite understand.
Well, of course we'll get our inheritance. She is dead after all.
Oh, then forget it. I'll find some other old widow to marry.
Well, I thought you were marrying her for love.
Indeed, I was. I happen to love money very much. Now, if you excuse me, I really must get going. Oh, and I strongly suggest that you either bury her or make an investment in some lime. Oh, good day.
You can't go yet.
All this suffering for nothing.
Colonel, why don't you stay a while? I mean, you know, Mama's not the only woman in this house with money.
Oh, my dear, I can't help but think that if you had money, you wouldn't need to sell your mother.
You do underestimate us.
My keys, they're gone.
Oh, you must have lost them when you were dancing.
Oh. Oh, dear God, even death couldn't silence her.
Here they are. Found them.
Oh, thank goodness, hand them over.
I can't keep up this charade any longer. We must shame the devil and tell him the truth.
I don't see why not. Desperate situations call for desperate solutions.
Colonel Cobb, please sit. The truth of the matter, quite plainly, is we mistakenly gave you some of ours that you were never supposed to have.
Are you accusing me of some sort of theft? Because I can assure you if you are, I shall sue for slander.
Oh no, not at all, not at all.
What Lillian is trying to say is that when I sold you the dining room suit, I also mistakenly turned over something else, something that is not rightfully yours, something we would like back.
And what, my dear, was that?
Our inheritance.
Mama didn't believe in banks,
And rightly so.
so she stashed all her money in a secret compartment in the rear of the china cabinet.
You don't mean the china cabinet you sold me. forgive me, but
It is right funny, actually.
I told y'all all we had to do was tell him the truth. We're dealing with a gentleman after all.
so what you're saying is that you sold me a dining room suit for a considerable less sum than it's actually worth, plus more money than I actually paid for it besides.
That's right. Now that we've all had our little laugh, let's go home with you and retrieve our inheritance.
Oh, and then we'll all come back here and celebrate Mama's birthday.
Isn't that the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard?
No. The most ridiculous thing I've ever heard is that you expect me to give it back.
What?
I can't believe I've wasted all these years courting an arrogant corpse and her 3 idiot daughters trying to attain what I already possess.
Is this my reward for telling the truth?
Oh, it's such a deserving reward, too, for such a ghastly deed. If everyone in society told the truth, what would become of civilization? I dare say I fear to think of the consequences. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Before you part, I'd like to show you how a true believer acts in the face of adversity. Forgive and forget. Ain't that right? Now, would you share a drink with us? It's a special concoction my sisters and I made ourselves.
Lillian?
It's the only Christian thing to do.
That's mighty considerate of you. You'll get your reward in heaven.
Oh, I'm sure you will too, Colonel Cobb. I'm sure you will too.
Well, at my age, my dear, I'm closer to heaven.
Oh, yeah, closer than even you realize.
Have you lost your mind?
You can't lose what you never possessed.
Oh, it's the game of life, dear sisters. We must learn from our mistakes. Memorize the rules. And remember that God helps those who help themselves.
My dear, when it comes to making money, there are no rules.
My sentiments exactly. No hard feelings?
Oh, no hard feelings. Cheers.
Cheers!
I'm so glad Mama didn't marry him.
She'd never been happy with a man who can't hold his liquor. Oh, Lillian, you're going to have to wait till tomorrow to start your morning, honey. There's no time for it now.
Do either of you realize what I've done?
Well, indeed we do. Not only are we getting our money back, but we can get our furniture back too.
I've murdered a fellow human being in cold blood.
You always were right, enterprising.
I have to stand before God with that man's blood on my hands.
Oh, don't be silly. You'll have plenty of time to wash before then.
I murdered a man, and for what?
Money and property.
Well, surely God will understand that.
Well, maybe if I confess, God will forgive me.
Forgive you for what? He's the one that broke the commandments. Thou shalt not steal.
Well, she's right, you know. All you've done is execute God's will by punishing a sinner. I mean, if the right people find out about it, they might make you a saint.
I hadn't thought about it that way.
You see, life's kind of like algebra. You choose the answer first, and then you work the solution to match.
What about Mama? We're responsible for her death.
I don't know what makes you think that. Doc Wharton told her 1,000 times if she didn't stop drinking, she'd kill herself. Now, start acting like a good Christian and stop asking so many questions, and let's go and reclaim our inheritance.
What are we going to do about them?
We'll have a church funeral, of course.
Don't you think 2 dead bodies in the same house might arouse a little suspicion?
I don't know why it should. Everybody knows deaths usually occur in threes.
We'll never get away with this. Crime doesn't pay.
Who are you kidding? It's one of the highest paying jobs in the world.
Yeah, people won't be suspicious. I mean, how much longer did they have anyway?
Is it? You're a genius. We're going to make it look as though they died together from natural causes.
How are we going to do that?
Oh,
Poor Rosalie, so much pain for so little pleasure.
Yeah, Mama always said it's fun going in, but hell coming out.
That is it. Strip them both.
Frankly, I'm beginning to get a little worried about you two.
No, you see, we're going to put them in bed together and make it look like they left this old world the same way they came into it.
Yeah, well, what will the neighbors say about that?
Think about the scandal.
Exactly. Oh, to finally be in the limelight. Not only will we have money, but we'll be celebrities. Everyone will want to hear stories about Mama's unsavory life. No more need to be lonely. And people will wonder if her being oversexed is hereditary. Oh, just think of all the men we'll meet.
I'm not interested in the limelight, and I already have a husband.
Oh, but your testimony could fill a church, Lillian. Preachers will hunt you down just to hear a few minutes worth. It could be the beginning of a miraculous vocation. And just imagine those collection plates overflowing because of you. And of course, you'll get your cut.
God does work in mysterious ways. Do they have to be completely naked? Couldn't they die from the excitement before they get down to the nitty-gritty?
I don't know.
Well, they were old.
And a mother does deserve some respect.
All right, then, let's just get them into bed together.
And the meek shall inherit the earth.
You know, this really turned out rather well, all things considered.
All things work for the good of those that love the Lord.
Why, Lily, you've regained your faith.
And Jesus said, Woman, thy faith hath saved thee. Go in peace. Luke 7:50. Let's go!
I do believe our sister's a saint. I tell you, an absolute saint.
Mary Alice? Mary Alice! Y'all embarrass me to death! Get off of her, Colonel Cobb! You hear me? Oh, Mary Alice, that don't look too ladylike either. Oh, now both of you get up this very minute and get your clothes back on. You're too old to be going over Fool's Hill. Mary Alice. Mary Alice. Lord have mercy. They're as dead as doornails. Take me away, Jesus. I done seen it all. I don't know if I should move him or how I should move him or what. Oh, well, what the Lord hath joined together, let no man pull asunder. This here's a marriage made in heaven. All of the joy and none of the sorrow. Yes, ma'am. Bessie Mae Gardner, if you ever needed a drink, it is now. Just look at this place. It could have been paradise if y'all had pulled together. But look at it now. What a mess. I suppose I should straighten up a little bit before I call the authorities. I swear, I don't even know where to begin. Where are Violet and Gloria and Lillian? Violet! Gloria! Lillian! Now, where could they be? Everywhere but where they ought to be. Or maybe they're just where they should be. Oh, keys, 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 keys. You don't have to worry about that money, Mary Alice. It's all been spent. They ain't like me, no sir. When I get a little money, I hold on to it. You should have left me that money. Wait a minute. Half of that money is still behind the shift rope. Money, money, money. Oh, now, I would never steal from you, Mary Alice. After all, but it does seem right that you ought to leave me a little something now, don't it? I mean, we've been best of friends all these years, almost like sisters, really. And don't have to worry about those fool daughters of yours. They're going to get theirs. But, it was really me that took care of you all those years. And, well, now it's your turn to take care of me. And we both know it's about time that you should. Lord have mercy. This is Confederate money. Worthless pieces of paper. You deceitful little devil. This is your best prank yet. Or did you know? What I wouldn't give to be a fly on the wall when those good-for-nothing daughters of yours tear open the back of that furniture and find that money there. Vile little buster girdle. Here's to you, Mary Alice. You never learned how to live, but you sure knew how to die.